Welcome to the fourth lesson in Session 5 on problem solving. In this lesson, you're going to use your knowledge of angles to solve the following problems. So in the figure below, you need to identify what the value of x is. So we have an angle that's identified as 5x minus 10 and an angle that's identified as 60 degrees. Now, anytime two lines intersect, angles that are opposite of each other are called vertical angles and are congruent. So here's an example of vertical angles. So I know 5x minus 10 is equal to 60. So after I add 10 to both sides and divide by 5, I isolate my variable, and I know x is equal to 14. In the next example, we need to find out, I know that the two lines are parallel lines, and that third line is a transversal, and we need to identify the value of x. So I have an angle that's 45 degrees, and I have another angle that's 5x plus 35. So in order to solve this, what I want to do is I understand this angle that is identified as 45 degrees is going to be congruent to angle 5 because they are corresponding angles. And I know angle 5 and 5x plus 35 form a linear pair, meaning they add to 180 degrees. So I know that 45 plus 5x plus 35 is going to add to 180 degrees. Again, to recap that, angles 45 and angles 5 are congruent because they're corresponding angles, and angle 5 and 5x plus 35 are supplementary because they are a linear pair. Therefore, by substitution, I know angles 45 and 5x plus 35 are supplementary. So the equation is 5x plus 35 plus 45 is equal to 180. Subtract from both sides and divide by 5, and I solve for x, it's equal to 20. In the next slide, we need to find the value of each angle in the figure below. So I've got an angle ABD, and I have another angle DBC, and I do understand that those two angles form a linear pair. So in this case, I know 3x plus 12x minus 30 has to equal 180. So combining my like terms and adding 30 to both sides gives me 15x equal to 210, and I get x equal to 14. Now I have to plug 14 back in for x for both angles so I can find out the value of each angle below. So plugging 14 into 3x to find angle ABD gives me a value of 42 degrees. And plugging 14 into 12x minus 30 to find angle DBC gives me 168 minus 30, which gives me 138 degrees. So as you can see, 138 and 42 add to 180. They are supplementary, so I do trust this answer. Last, we need to use the following diagram. Shows parallel lines cut by a transversal, and we need to identify the measure of angle 2. So we're given two angles. We're given 5x plus 55, and we're given 2x plus 100. Now I know 5x plus 55 and 2x plus 100 are corresponding angles, meaning that they're congruent. So I set 5x plus 55 equal to 2x plus 100, and I solve for x. I end up with x equals 15. So I'm going to plug 15 in for the angle 5x plus 55. So plugging x into 5x plus 55 and adding angle 2, because I know those two angles form a linear pair, meaning they're supplementary. 5x plus 55, plugging in 15 gives me 130, and subtracting 130 leaves me with the value of angle 2, which is 50 degrees. So that wraps up this lesson. Please email us if you have any questions. Good luck on the quiz, and good luck on the test.